Just two guys just loving to play. We love to play the game of basketball and try to share to each other.
Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with, for sure. And today's
LeBron James could finish his career with the Warriors on a 2-year, $30.8 million deal.
To create the room, and then again, if Cornette's involved in this pick and roll, if Steph sees any daylight, he's going to...
But LeBron James brought this crowd to its feet.
How old is he, Ian?
I mean, they list 40.
Screen so that Steph can come on and manipulate just like that.
They can cut it to single digits.
Oh, LeBron James!
Before you get excited, before you start imagining the highlights, before you picture Steph Curry pulling up from 35 feet and LeBron finishing an alley-oop on the same team, ask yourself one honest question. When was the last time two superstars past their prime, on a team with no real supporting cast, won an NBA championship? Not almost won, not made a deep run, actually won, because the NBA has seen this movie before, and it never ends the way the fans want it to. 2012 Lakers, Kobe, Howard, Nash, Gasol, 4 future Hall of Famers, got swept in the first round. 2013 Brooklyn Nets, Pierce, Garnett, Williams, everyone called it a super team, lost in the second round. And now in 2025, people are genuinely excited about a 41-year-old LeBron James and a 38-year-old Steph Curry trying to survive an 82-game Western Conference season against the most athletic generation of players the NBA has ever produced. This is not a dream team. This is a farewell tour being sold as a championship window. And today we are going to break down exactly why this move, as beautiful as it sounds, will not work.
Let's face it, those guys are up in age. And to think that they just gonna walk through an 82-game damn season, that ain't gonna happen.
Again, here's Curry for the record.
It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry!
A lot of teams, they've taken their role to another level for the Clippers.
Curry free!
Score this trip down and Orlando does, it'll be a timeout. Steph Curry making sure that doesn't happen as he rails a three.
Let's start with the most uncomfortable truth in this entire conversation. LeBron James is 41 years old. He will be 42 by the time the playoffs begin. Steph Curry is 38. Jimmy Butler, the third star on this roster, just tore his ACL and is coming off major knee surgery at age 36. 3 stars, combined age of 116. All of them coming off either injury concerns or significant physical decline from their peak years. Now add an 82-game regular season on top of that. Not an Olympic tournament where you play 7 games over 3 weeks with days of rest in between. A full NBA season. Back-to-backs, road trips, physical playoff basketball in April and May against teams built around players who are 10 years younger and physically fresher than anyone on this roster. The Nightcap analysts said it directly. Those guys are up in age, and to think they are just going to walk through an 82-game season, that ain't going to happen. And they are absolutely right. The Paris Olympics were 7 games. Golden State is asking these same players to do that for 7 months straight. The human body does not work that way. Age does not negotiate. And the injury history surrounding this entire roster suggests that getting all 3 of these stars healthy at the same time for an extended playoff run is not a plan. It is a prayer.
Out of the known as a defensive guy, LeBron is going to be 42 years of age, and he can't play defense like he once could. Kristaps Porzingis can't stay healthy. Jimmy Butler is coming off a knee injury. Draymond is Draymond. We know what Draymond can do. But like you said, okay, what are you going to feel around him? Because you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that can play defense.
easy.
Yeah, we go to break here. You see LeBron and Austin hooking up. No look. LeBron looking the ball into the rim. 2 points.
Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record.
It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry! And they're looking forward to it. 2-on-1 and a pretty good defensive play by Johnson! Throw it down, LeBron!
Here is the question that destroys this entire concept the moment you take it seriously. Who is playing defense? Steph Curry has never been known as a defensive player. At 38, his ability to guard quick perimeter players has declined significantly from even his average years defensively. LeBron James was one of the most versatile defenders in NBA history at his peak. At 41, that version of LeBron simply does not exist anymore. He conserves energy on defense to preserve his offensive impact. That is the reality. Jimmy Butler was the defensive anchor this team was counting on. He just tore his ACL. He is coming back at 36 from a major knee surgery with no guarantee of returning to anywhere near his previous defensive level. Kristaps Porzingis cannot stay healthy. That is not an opinion. That is a career-long pattern. And Draymond Green. Yes, Draymond is still Draymond. He is still one of the most intelligent defensive players in the league. But one elite defender cannot cover for an entire roster of defensive liabilities. The Nightcap crew laid it out perfectly. The Western Conference is loaded with wings. Somebody has to guard Anthony Edwards. Somebody has to guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Somebody has to guard Jamal Murray. Somebody has to guard all the young explosive athletes that Oklahoma City and San Antonio and Minnesota are putting on the floor every single night. And right now, looking at this Golden State roster, nobody can tell you who that somebody is.
They got to think about some of the teams in the West, you know, and LeBron and Steph and Draymond, as great as they are, the teams that they had, you know, the 73-9 season, having KD, having Clay, I think it's a little bit different. And thinking that they even have a chance to come out the West with them young boys, them young bulls, you know, out there right now. I mean, the chances are slim. Great team, you know, collectively, you know, all together. You would think experience and veteran presence would kind of give them the edge, but they're not going to be able to run up and down with them young boys, man, coming out the West.
Arabia, the lead to LeBron, the takeoff, and the jam! Oh, gee!
To LeBron taking off in transition with the dribble drive, 2 feet in the paint to Arabia.
Clock at 8. LeBron to the back.
Okay.
No, and that's what I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't. Here is LeBron, points 26 and 27.
Here's 3 of 16 shooting threes. San Antonio for 13. There's a 3 right out of my mouth and right through the twine.
Even if you solve the age problem, even if you solve the defense problem, even if everyone stays healthy, there is still the small matter of actually surviving the Western Conference. Look at what is waiting for this team in the West right now. Oklahoma City Thunder. The youngest core in the league built around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, with athletes at every single position who can run the floor all night long. Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, the most physically dominant young wing in the NBA, with a roster built around toughness and athleticism. Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP, still playing at the absolute peak of his powers. San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama, potentially a generational talent still getting better every single month. These are not teams that a 41-year-old and a 38-year-old can simply outthink and outexperience their way past. These teams have elite athletes who recover faster, run harder, and can sustain their physical peak for 48 minutes in a way that aging legs simply cannot match. The Nightcap analyst said it clearly. Experience and veteran presence sounds good on paper, but they are not going to be able to run up and down with them young boys coming out of the West. And that is the brutal truth. Basketball at its highest level in the playoffs is ultimately a physical game. And the Western Conference in 2025 is younger, faster, and more athletic than it has been in years.
You got to have some young talent, you know, who can play. And, you know, it's kind of hard because, y'all know, man, it's hard playing with some of these great players. It's going to be hard playing with LeBron.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell, it's hard playing with Steph Curry. You know, when you ain't never been in those situations playing with that amount of talent. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that, hell, if you're a young dude, to some degree, you're going to have to sacrifice your damn game.
Here is where the entire concept completely falls apart at its foundation. Even if LeBron signs, even if the salary works, even if everyone stays healthy, who are the other 8 players on this roster? The Warriors have nearly $150 million committed to Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green. After moving salary to create space for LeBron, they would be piecing together the rest of their roster on minimum contracts and late second-round picks. And it is not just about finding cheap players. It is about finding cheap players who can do something extremely specific and extremely difficult. Come off the bench, know their role completely, sacrifice their individual games entirely, and perform in high-pressure playoff moments alongside 3 of the most ball-dominant veterans in NBA history. The Nightcap crew broke this down perfectly. Young players coming into that environment, playing with LeBron, playing with Curry, playing with Draymond, are going to have to sacrifice their own development and their own games entirely. And finding players willing and able to do that at a high level on minimum contracts is genuinely one of the hardest roster building challenges in the entire sport. The 73-win Warriors team had Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson alongside Curry and Draymond. That is 4 legitimate stars. Not 2 aging legends and a collection of minimum contract role players hoping everything works out. The gap between what Golden State had then and what they would have now is not small. It is enormous. Now let us talk about the part of this story that the excitement is conveniently drowning out. The most honest read on everything happening right now is not that LeBron James is genuinely considering leaving the Lakers for a $15 million pay cut to join a team that missed the playoffs. The most honest read is that this is a negotiating tactic, and a brilliant one. LeBron James is entering free agency with his Lakers contract expired. The Lakers need to decide between paying him top dollar and maintaining the flexibility to build a real roster around him and Luka Doncic. That is not a simple conversation, and LeBron knows it. Having Steph Curry publicly recruiting him, having a reported face-to-face meeting scheduled, having the Golden State Warriors actively pursuing him, that sends one very clear message to the Lakers front office. Figure out what you are offering, or someone else will make this decision for you. Yahoo Sports and NBA Analysis Network both noted it explicitly. The simplest read on this entire situation is that it is less a genuine Warriors recruitment and more a LeBron negotiating tactic. Whether he orchestrated it or it simply fell into his lap does not matter. The result is the same. He now has options, or at least the powerful appearance of them, and the Warriors lose nothing by playing along. If LeBron says yes, they have a headline pairing. If LeBron says no, which is the far more likely outcome, they went through the proper motions of an aggressive offseason and gave Curry the chance to make his pitch. This meeting is real, the friendship is real, but the destination was almost certainly always going to be the same. LeBron James is going to re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. The idea of LeBron James and Steph Curry as teammates is one of the most compelling storylines the NBA has produced in years. The friendship is genuine. The competitive fire in both of them is real, and the basketball world would absolutely love to see it happen. But loving a story and believing it can succeed are 2 completely different things. 2 aging superstars, a defensive roster with no answers, a Western Conference filled with young athletic teams that would run them off the floor in a 7-game series, a salary situation that leaves no room for the supporting cast they desperately need, and a negotiating dynamic that suggests this whole conversation ends with LeBron staying in Los Angeles anyway. The dream is beautiful, the reality is brutal, and in the NBA, reality always wins. Drop a comment below. Do you think this team could actually compete, or is this just a farewell tour waiting to happen? Hit like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.